What is going on YouTube? But Great Blades here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Koenig Arius. This is the full-size Arius. Let's start with a overall measurement of it. So overall size, we're going to be looking at about 8.5 inches, right to the back of the lanyard loop that they got there. Blade length, we're looking at about 3.25 inches with a, we'll call that about 3.3 inches of cutting edge. Do a measurement on the blade stock thickness here real quick. So because they do have this fuller kind of milled into it, that's going to be a little bit thinner, so we'll go down just a little bit more than usual. We're looking at about 150 thousandths there on the thickness. Alright, and then we'll do a quick size comparison. Size comparison with the Demco 20.5. This, of course, has my custom original goat scales on it. I'll link them down below. And then the QSP Penguin. So this is going to be, again, substantially longer. Oops, let's move it down just a little bit here. Substantially longer than both of the knives here. It is what I would consider a full-size knife anyway. Do a quick carry profile in terms of thickness. So compared to the QSP Penguin, it is a little bit thicker there. And then compared to the 20.5, it is also just a hair thicker than that one as well, but it still won't be an absurdly difficult in terms of thickness knife to carry in your pocket. I carry my phone in my pocket as well as my knife, so it's more crowded for me, but I don't usually have any problems with any of the knives that I carry. Do a measurement on the weight here real quick. Looking at about 4.75 ounces, which isn't, again, absurdly heavy, but for what you're getting here, it's not too bad. So with this one in particular, I believe they just called this patterned. It's kind of like a basket weave kind of mill into the titanium here. And then this one has blue hardware. They've got different ones, satin hardware, bronze hardware, etc. But this one, and different patterns, like I had mentioned. They have smooth ones. They have a couple different patterns as well for the titanium. This one is so this one's, I believe, a couple years old from a different release than what they're currently, sorry, little smudge on the blade there, what they're currently releasing. So this one is in, if we can get that there, this one is in 20 CV. I think now they're using M390, but still a comparable steel, plenty fine, been around for a while. This one is, I believe they call it burnished. It's burnished on the blade with a kind of like satin or polish on the flats here. So kind of like a two-tone, but like a two-tone stonewash and satin kind of deal here. I guess we would call this a drop point blade, modified drop point blade. And it is hollow ground, so it does come down to a very, very thin, super slicey edge there. This does run on ceramic bearings, and it is crazy smooth. I mean, the action on this is phenomenal. you know, whether you're flipping it open with the tab or reverse flicking. You can forward flick it as well. It is insanely smooth. Not a guillotine, which is nice, I appreciate that, but it is a nice and controlled smooth fall all the way through. This one is all titanium. They do have some that also have carbon fiber on the show side scale, but this one is all titanium. The clip is right hand tip up carry only, so sorry lefties. I don't know if they make a left hand carry or a lefty version of the Arius, but it is right hand tip up carry on this one only. Perfectly centered there, as you would expect from Koenig and their quality. This is also the first Koenig I've handled, but again, they're a pretty big name in the knife community if you've been around a while, and they've done some really, really great stuff. But this is my first time handling one, but it is phenomenal. It is a frame lock, and it does have that steel lock bar insert. I don't think you can see that. It does have a steel lock bar insert though. The clip is also titanium, 3D machined titanium, and honestly the clip is pretty comfortable. I think it's got some good springiness to it. I had no issues in and out of the pocket, you know, whether I was wearing shorts or jeans or anything in between. I didn't really have any issues carrying it, and it was comfortable. You do not feel that clip at all. No matter how I'm squeezing on this thing, I don't feel it in any way that would be bothersome or a hot spot. Definitely comfortable. The ergos on this are great, and even with my kind of smaller hands, you know, it's pretty comfortable no matter where I put them. And there is a little bit of a finger choil here, so you can put your index finger there, which is nice. I will say I kind of wish there was some jimping on the back of the spine here, because there is none, zero. It is comfortable, but it is slippery, so I do wish that they would include just a little bit of jimping on there, you know, even if it was only like to here, maybe, you know, not all the way up the spine, but even if it was only, you know, halfway, 3/4 of the way up, that would be great. That'd be probably one of my only gripes with this knife, and even then, it's a pretty small thing. The lanyard kind of backspacer they have here is out of the way, so the pocket clip is prioritized, which is nice. I don't personally carry any of my knives with a lanyard, but no hate if you do, just not for me. But I'm glad, you know, for people that do use it, it's there, and for the people that don't, it's kind of out of the way, so that's not an issue. Something just kind of neat to me is that the center of the clip is hollowed out, and if you see there, there's actually a window all the way through, so you can see the blade there. Just something kind of neat, aesthetically, anyways. And they even textured the relief cut in the lock bar, in the lock side here, which some companies do not, which is fine, you know. I mean, there's not really a real reason to, but Koenig did just because they could and they wanted to, which is nice. Let me see here. There's no bald spot under the clip here, but that's okay because the texture on this titanium is not aggressive, that it'll tear up your pants, but it does give you just a little bit of traction, which is nice, and it just looks nice. I think the different kind of cross-hatching intersecting lines here, like I said, kind of like a basket weave sort of design, I think is really cool. And the fact that they did it for the entire knife as well is very nice. All the corners are nicely chamfered and knocked down, so no part of this on the frame here is sharp or uncomfortable. It's going to dig into your hands. Same thing with that kind of opening hole here. It is even chamfered and rounded off inside here as well, so there's no sharp edges, which is nice because some companies don't think about that. And it's not necessarily the end of the world, but you know, if that's the only method of deployment is the opening hole, and it's not chamfered, it can tear up your finger a little bit, leave you a little sore depending how often you're using your knife. So it's nice that they thought of that. What else is it going to say here? I don't know if it was intended, but I guess you could, in theory, use this backspacer as well as like a glass breaker. There's not a sharp point on it per se, but it does come to a little bit of a point here. So I guess if you needed to, you could use that as well. But I think it is mostly just supposed to be a lanyard, a spot for the lanyard. What else here? As far as so this is USA made entirely, and then as far as price, it kind of depends on the version you're getting. Some of the more plain Jane ones are obviously going to be less expensive, and then if you do carbon fiber or DLC or two-tone or things like this, that'll change the price a little bit. But for the most part, they start around $730 and they go to about $800, with some of the more crazy fancy versions going above that $800 price point as well. And originally, when these first came out, when they were a little bit lesser known, the price was closer to like $400, $500, $600. But of course, as the company grew and they started doing more things, and obviously prices just go up for materials and cost of labor, so the price of the knife did go up, which is understandable, even if unfortunate. But even I think for that price point that they're asking, it is still a very, very solid knife. Again, a little bit out of my price range probably, so I'm glad my friend sent this to me to take a look at. I do really love it though, so I probably will grab one at some point eventually, maybe even on the secondary, if the prices aren't too crazy there. But overall, I do think this is a really, really solid piece, and if you don't have, or you've never, checked out a Koenig, try to get your hands on one if you can, and then I do really think this is a great knife. It's amazingly comfortable. That edge is nice and slicey, and there is just enough tip there that you can also do some poking for things if you need to, and it's just really well made. It's definitely one of the best higher end production knives that I've checked out. Personally, I definitely recommend it if this is something you're interested in and able to comfortably afford. Definitely grab one. That's gonna be it though, guys. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because I'll be posting more videos as well. No slowing down as of yet. And then leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about the Koenig. I know they have the mini Arius as well. I might have to get my hands on one of those too, because even though my hands are small, this is still very comfortable. But I think the mini Arius, I think that'd be nice to check out just to see, in comparison, how that would feel for me personally with my smaller hands. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.